If anybody in Hungary acts in a way that damages our security interests, then they must anticipate consequences.
Hungary has passed legislation punishing anyone who helps people seek asylum in the country. Now, anyone found guilty of helping asylum seekers will face a year in jail.
We are talking about medical care, psychosocial care, housing, employment, education. We are talking about legal aid. So these people who are forced to flee war, forced to flee violence, these people would be left without these assistances.
It's part of a package of bills called Stop Soros, named after U.S. billionaire investor George Soros. He funds the Open Society foundations, and Hungary accuses him of supporting Muslim immigrants and meddling in the country's domestic affairs.
I stand up for the principles I believe in, and I don't allow to personalize these attacks.
Hungary's parliament also changed the constitution, forbidding foreigners from settling in the country. That goes against the EU's plans to relocate tens of thousands of asylum seekers from Italy and Greece to other member states. Hungary has passed its anti-immigrant law 3 years after thousands of refugees fleeing wars in the Middle East entered the country. The vast majority of them moved on to other European states. But that didn't stop Hungary from building a fence along its southern border to prevent more from coming. More than 1 million asylum seekers reached the EU in 2015, and since then, leaders can't agree on how to handle them. The issue has impacted elections in France, Italy, Austria, and Hungary, and has put the political future of German Chancellor Angela Merkel at risk.
Wenn es uns nicht gelingt, eine gemeinsame Antwort auf die Fragen der illegalen Migration zu geben, dann werden Grundfesten der Europäischen Union in Frage geraten. Das beginnt mit der Freizügigkeit.
The UN says around 40,000 people have arrived in Europe by sea so far this year. And Italy, Greece, and Spain say the so-called Dublin regulation, where refugees must claim asylum in their first EU country of arrival, is no longer fair. Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia have also joined Hungary in refusing to take in asylum seekers under any EU plan. Several countries have suggested setting up migrant reception centers abroad to screen people before they depart for Europe, while others want the police and Coast Guard to turn away migrants at the border and at sea. Unless the EU can solve the deepening crisis on how to distribute and care for migrants and refugees who are already on the continent, and those who will arrive in the future, many are asking, is Europe not the safe haven they were hoping to find? Pirovolakis, The Newsmakers.